Good morning. As we were in the hallway preparing, I joked with Justin. I said, giving us each some time to speak is risky and an act of faith on your part. So, Justin, thank you for the invitation to be here today and to be part of worship and to reflect on the time that we spent here. Bill brought back a lot of good memories for me from some of the people he named, and it made me reflect that it was 20 years ago that my family moved here to Waynesboro. And so coming here today is like coming home. When Justin said, "How would you describe your time?" It really felt like home. We reared our 3 children here. They were 11, 9, and 5 when we arrived. They're now 31, 29, and 26. And we have 2 grandchildren. But it is like coming home. Children were reared here. They went to Waynesboro High School, graduated from there, all 3 of them. And then all 3 of them also graduated from the University of North Carolina. You knew it was coming. So, Justin, thank you for the invitation to be here today. Homecomings can be complicated. You know what it's like to go home. There's all kinds of joy and nostalgia that's bubbling up alongside of some of the other experiences that you have in going home. I'm thankful that there's so much more joy and nostalgia in being here. There are saints still among us. There are saints that have gone before us. And I'm thankful for their presence in my life and in the life of our family. I remember well the words that Mike Queen shared with me when I was ordained by First Baptist Wilmington in 1998. This was in preparation for my first call to ministry over in Earlysville. And Mike said, "David, they were church long before you got there." And that church started in 1773. "They will be church long after you leave. So while you're there, love them and lead them well." And that's been my compass through every season of ministry. Because sometimes in life it's easy to love and easy to lead, and sometimes it's not so easy to love and easy to lead. But that's part of what makes life and community. Bill mentioned redreaming the dream. In coming here, I certainly stood on the shoulders of titans of our faith. And I'm thankful to be part of that legacy. And the way we redreamed the dream was people of passion. Do you remember that leadership group that dreamed a future that we lived into? It also involved a staffing model because of changes that had taken place and the impending retirement of Ken Denton, the launching of the Awakening worship service, the renovation of this sanctuary, missions that included backpacks for children over the weekend so they could have food, and our partnership with the Warm Ministry began during those days. And it all happened because of the leadership and the commitment of those that were in this room. Some of you are still here, and it's good to see your faces. And there are always the weddings and the funerals and the births and the adoptions and the baptisms and the worship, all the rites and rituals that make us First Baptist Church. And it's always good to be part and included in that. I remember one particular transformative moment in the life of our church. It was for me. It felt like it was for us as a whole. You may recall we had Eddie Hammett come over the course of several months. And he led us in congregational conversations, and he coached us. And he asked a question that was so pivotal because it invited each of us to take stock. He said, as First Baptist Church, as a member, as a participant here, what's more important? For you to get your way or for the church to move forward in mission? That was one of those moments where there was unity and creativity and a focus on the out there more so than the in here. The in here is incredibly important, and I'm so thankful for the in here. I've always had the view that the church truly exists for those who are not yet here. And I see evidence of that today. For there are people sitting in these pews who did not sit in these pews when Paula and I were here. So that's evidence that what we prayed for and what we dreamed for has been brought to fruition. I am humbled, thankful, and honored to have served as your pastor for all those years. And it's even more exciting to see the story that God is continuing to write in the life of First Baptist Church. May you continue to be a place of health, wholeness, and hope for this community. And now, a word from the Lord, enough word from me. A word from the Lord comes from Joshua chapter 4, verses 1 through 7. When the entire nation had finished crossing over the Jordan, the Lord said to Joshua, "Select 12 men from the people, one from each tribe, and command them. Take 12 stones from here, out of the middle of the Jordan, from the place where the priest's feet stood. Carry them over with you and lay them down in the place where you camp tonight." Then Joshua summoned the 12 men whom he had appointed from the Israelites, one from each tribe. Joshua said to them, "Pass on before the ark of the Lord your God into the middle of the Jordan, and each of you take up a stone on his shoulder according to the number of the tribes of the Israelites, so that this may be a sign among you. When your children ask in time to come, 'What do these stones mean to you?' Then you shall tell them that the waters of the Jordan were cut off in front of the ark of the covenant of the Lord. When it crossed over the Jordan, the waters of the Jordan were cut off. So these stones shall be to the Israelites a memorial forever." The word of God for the people of God. Thanks be to God.